Hi everybody, welcome once again to a low on health kind of daily rambling, kind of a personal blog, video blog that I am doing. Just kind of want to do this kind of quick because I got the rock band thing later on tonight, in which case I really haven't done much today because I've only been up for about 3 or 4 hours. Woke up kind of late today at around 3. But moving on, let's go and get these out of the way. The new Penny Arcade, they had their second half of their charity, Child's Play, in which case, once again, it's nice just to see these guys. This documentary is a real kind of window into their lives and into their organization. And of course, Child's Play just shows that gamers aren't just degenerate people. I mean, we do care, we do raise money. It's almost like $2 million a year. This fundraiser alone brings into local hospitals and whatnot. And it's really nice just to see us kind of joining forces and going together to do a good cause and dissuading a lot of people with their negative attitudes towards gamers. Personally, I have not donated to the charity just because of financial reasons, but I do like what they're doing. Moving on, we got this infographic. I've kind of gotten addicted to infographics online now and then, just because they're just a fun, entertaining way to get stats across. And this one, of course, is basically video game statistics. In which case, it's nice to see that basically 65% of households have video games in them now, play video games. Of course, the age distribution shows that the average gamer is 32 years old, in which case I'm still a little shy of that. 2 out of 5 gamers are female, which is interesting, and I want to say is more or less because of the casual market. Moving on down, you can see that right there when you look at consoles, the females are basically more with the Wii, which is kind of the casual market, and then of course only half of that, only 41% of males play, are Wii players. Moving on down here, you can also show that it shows that about 18 hours a week are what most gamers allot to playing video games, in which case that's about right. I maybe do a little bit more than that now. Console wars, you can see where the Wii has kind of broke ahead of everybody else, mainly because it's marketing to the casual market and it being kind of cheaper than the other ones. Not so much now, but when it first came out, the Wii was basically the poor man's option. Not saying poor, but casual gamer option. Handhelds, of course, it's of course going to be the DS over the PSP. In which case, that's just because of games, the cost, and just the marketability, and especially in Japan. I mean, they love the DS over the PSP. Ironically, I do use my PSP almost daily now. I'm able to basically I use it to check my emails and the news real quick while I'm in bed. I basically don't have to worry about turning on the computer. I can just sync it up with the PS3, zoop out to the net, get the information, and come right back. And it's really nice that the PSP allows that, but of course that just keeps me in the bed more. Moving on, it does show that the PS2 sold 138 million pieces, in which case it's the best-selling console ever. I did get the PS2 Fat, as they call it now, the original when it came out, and I did buy the Slim down the road, and still both worked. For the console failure rate, you can see, of course, the 360 is 23%. I mean, in the PS3 is 10%, and the Wii's 2.7%. And I want to say that comes down to basically use, maybe, but we all know the 360 maybe isn't built as well as the others, and I will say about 3 out of 5 people I know that has a 360, they have basically have crashed on them within their first 2 years. I know I've had mine crash and other people, but the good news is they take really good care of it and they fix it up for you. It's just sad that happens that often. It does show that Mario is the most successful video game franchise. No big surprise there, and of course the top 5 best-selling video games are all Wii or NES related. And it does show that the console software sales versus PC software sales, I'm not saying the PC's dying, but because the casual gaming market, it's just easier to play console games. You don't have to worry about video cards or compatibility or patches. You can see how the consoles are just naturally going to be better and sell more. Moving on, let's go to game FAQs here. I did send back Demon Souls and Army of Two, because I did beat Army of Two with Musferatu and figured I had enough of that. Demon Souls, I gave a good solid play. I loved it in the beginning, and then started to hate some of the design and level direction, and then started to tolerate it, but then I found out it was more or less just going to be a grind fest, and I'm really just not in the mood to do that. Sometimes I am. I did play through 2 Human, but Demon Souls, I just wasn't really feeling it right now. Hopefully, though, sending those 2 back, I'll get Africa or Darksiders or Dark Void sometime next week, and of course I know I'm kind of looking forward to the Mass Effect, White Knight, Bioshock, and then Heavy Rain. Of course, there's Final Fantasy 13. Probably looking more forward to Heavy Rain, Mass Effect, Just Cause, Bioshock, White Knight, and I'm just going to put 13 on my anticipation list at the bottom there, because after everything I'm hearing, I'm really just not that thrilled to play it. Moving on to Xbox Live, we see here I got 3 friends. I got somebody playing Bioshock, which the second one's coming out soon, and Bioshock was my game of 2007. Of course, Carcassonne, which is always a classic, and then I got somebody there playing Civilization Revolution, which actually I enjoyed the hell out of. Always kind of like the Civ and Age of Empire games on the PC, and when Civilization Revolution came out on the 360, I played it to death and really enjoyed how they basically transitioned it from the PC to the console, and I really did play a good chunk of that and enjoyed it. I do know later on tonight I'll probably see some of these people at the Rock Band event that I'm going to. We got a Bishop might be there, and Dare might show up, and of course Solid Milk should be there because it is his house that's happening at. Moving on, let's just go to Game FAQ polls. They're doing their character battle, which is kind of interesting. It always comes down to either Link, Mario, or Final Fantasy. In between Magnus and Alucard, I'm going to give it to Alucard just because the Symphony of the Night was just a hell of a game, and Magnus is just kind of a character in Chrono Trigger. Not saying that one's better than the others, but I'm just going to say Alucard. In which case, let's see what we got here. Of course, Alucard is winning. Not by much, but interesting. By a lot, I guess. 17 points is a lot. I didn't do yesterday's, in which case it was Link versus Thrall, which, of course, we know Link's got to get it. And of course, I'm going to say right now in this division, Link's got to win out. There's really nobody else. They do this on purpose. It's you put your heavyweights in the 4 corners, and because they're going to be all together. In which case, Link's going to win this whole one out. I am kind of rooting for out of this list. I would kind of root for the boss, and then even Nathan Drake, and then Alucard. But once again, we'll see what happens with that. But other than that, that's about it. Once again, sorry I didn't do much today because it's been kind of a short day so far. I got to pack up and get hitting the road soon. Thanks for watching. I will be taking some pictures at the event, so maybe I'll share those for laughs and giggles later on. But thank you for watching, and have a good night.